In life, there are times when we suffer, not because of what is happening, but because we stubbornly insist on things going our way. The Buddha taught that everything in life comes and goes. Things come together and then fall apart. Things are born and then die. When we understand the impermanence of things, we will appreciate the people around us, cherish peaceful days, and not be overly distressed when something leaves. Some things may make us sad today, but looking back later, we realize that loss is also a lesson that helps us grow. People often easily remember things that hurt them and find it hard to forget hurtful words. But if we hold on to resentment, the first person to suffer is ourselves. Forgiveness doesn't mean denying what happened, nor does it mean returning to the things that hurt us. Sometimes, forgiveness simply means deciding not to carry that resentment with us for the rest of our lives. When our hearts lighten, we find the peace to move forward. Buddhist teachings also remind us that each person is sowing seeds through their thoughts, words, and actions. A kind word can bring joy to someone who is sad. A good deed can become a light in someone's life. Therefore, don't underestimate small acts of kindness. A little sincerity, a little tolerance, a little patience each day is how we sow good seeds for our lives. Don't worry too much about whether others are better than you or you are inferior to others. Each person has their own path, their own circumstances, and their own time to grow. Early blooming flowers have their own beauty, and late blooming flowers also have their own beauty. The important thing is not to go faster than others, but whether you become more knowledgeable, kind, and peaceful each day. Finally, learn to return to yourself. When your mind is too chaotic, know when to stop. When things don't go your way, breathe slowly and reflect on your emotions before saying anything. When life throws too many things beyond your control, focus on what you can do today. Peace isn't about the absence of difficulties, but about maintaining a clear mind, a compassionate heart, and the ability to move forward with equanimity amidst those difficulties. And then, after experiencing enough joys and sorrows of life, we will gradually understand that there are many things that don't need to be fought for to the end. Many people that don't need to be held on to forever, and things that, no matter how much we desire them, may not necessarily belong to us. Sometimes, knowing when to let go isn't weakness, but a form of wisdom, because when our hands are too tightly gripping, we cannot embrace the new things that come our way. When our hearts are still filled with the regrets of yesterday, we also find it difficult to see the beauty of today. The Buddha taught that the root of much suffering lies in attachment. We cling to a person and fear losing them. We cling to something and fear it changing. We cling to a desire and suffer when reality doesn't match our wishes. But life is not static. Everything is changing every day, like a stream that never flows exactly once. Therefore, instead of trying to hold on to everything forever, learn to be fully present with what you have. While you still love sincerely. While you can still say thank you, say it. While you can still do good, don't wait until tomorrow. Some people come into our lives only to walk a certain distance with us, and then one day they turn in a different direction. Don't let. So when someone leaves, instead of just asking, "Why did they leave me?" try asking, "What have I learned from this encounter?" When the question changes, the way we look at the past will also change. Life doesn't always give us what we want, but sometimes it silently gives us what we need. A single failure can make us more humble. A single experience of hurt can deepen our understanding of compassion. A period of solitude can teach us independence and self-reflection. Therefore, don't hastily conclude that difficult times are meaningless. Some seeds can only sprout after the rain. Remember, a peaceful person isn't someone who has never faced adversity, but someone who knows how to keep their heart from being swept away by it. When others speak ill of you, calmly reflect on yourself, correct what is right, and gently let go of what is wrong. When you encounter someone who makes you angry, remember that everyone carries stories within them that you don't know. Compassion begins the moment we don't rush to judge someone based on a single action or word. Life isn't as long as we think. Days that seem endless will eventually become memories. Things that bother us today may only be old stories a few years from now. So, don't spend too much time angry. Don't let someone else's words decide your peaceful day, and don't let the past steal the joy of the present. Let what has happened become a lesson. Don't be too afraid of what is yet to come, and live fully in the present moment. If you're tired today, give yourself some time to rest. If you're feeling sad, don't force yourself to forget. Quietly acknowledge it, accept your sadness, and gently let it pass. No emotion lasts forever. Joy will change. Sadness will pass. Like clouds, come and go in the sky. We don't need to chase after every cloud. We just need to learn to return to the vast sky within ourselves. Slow down a little, speak a little less, and listen a little more. Be grateful for an ordinary meal, a peaceful sleep, someone still by your side, and the chance to start over. Don't wait until you lose something to appreciate it. Don't wait until your loved ones are gone to express your love. Don't wait until your health deteriorates to understand the value of ordinary days. Ultimately, the most precious thing a person can find in life is not how much money, fame, or admiration they have, but the peace of mind they possess at night, the ability to remain calm in the face of gains and losses, the ability to rejoice in others' success without envy, and the compassion without judgment in the face of others' suffering. Little by little, your mind will become lighter, your heart will broaden, and your life will become more peaceful. Because, after all, we cannot carry anything of this world with us forever. What we strive to hold on to today will one day have to be let go of. Therefore, learn to live in such a way that when we look back, we don't regret loving too little, forgiving too late, or living too much for things that weren't worth it. Let each day be a day when our hearts become brighter, our souls kinder, and our steps lighter. At some point, we will understand that peace is not found in a distant place. Peace lies in how we view life, in how we face gain and loss, in how we forgive others and ourselves. When the mind is no longer stubborn, the natural world becomes peaceful. When the heart is content, even ordinary things become happiness. And when we know how to live with compassion, we will realize that each day we live, love, and do good is an incredibly precious gift. Sometimes, what we need most in life isn't an answer, but a moment of silence. Because some questions only become more confusing the more we try to find the answer. There are things whose true meaning can only be seen after time has passed and our minds have calmed down. Therefore, when you don't understand something, give yourself more time. Don't rush to blame life just because things haven't gone your way today. Perhaps what you perceive as a loss is actually a necessary turning point, leading you down a more suitable path. Buddhist teachings instruct people to look inward and observe themselves before looking at the faults of others. When anger arises, look at the anger. When envy arises, recognize the envy. When hurt, ask yourself why those words had such a profound impact on you. Sometimes, what hurts us isn't entirely the words of others, but rather our own expectations, pride, and the attachments we carry. Understanding this, we will no longer easily entrust the decision of our peace to another person. Don't try to prove yourself right in every argument. Sometimes, winning an argument means losing a relationship. There are arguments where, no matter how right you are, you won't find peace. A wise person doesn't always say everything they know, but knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Silence isn't weakness. Sometimes, what hurts us isn't entirely the words of others, but rather our own expectations, pride, and the attachments we carry. Understanding this, we will no longer easily entrust the decision of our peace to another person. Don't try to prove yourself right in every argument. Sometimes, winning an argument means losing a relationship. There are arguments where, no matter how right you are, you won't find peace. A wise person doesn't always say everything they know, but knows when to speak and when to remain silent. Silence isn't weakness. Lens isn't weakness. Sometimes, silence is the way to keep a small fire from turning into a raging blaze. Words, once spoken, are difficult to take back. So, before speaking, ask yourself, is this necessary? Is it sincere? And will it hurt someone who is already burdened with many worries? In life, we will also encounter people who don't understand us. Some people see a mistake and judge our whole being. Some only remember our failures, forgetting our silent efforts. But that's okay. Not everyone needs to understand us, just as we can't understand everyone's story. What matters is knowing how we are living. If our conscience is clear and our actions don't harm others, then we don't need to spend our lives chasing the world's approval. But the more we try to change others, the more exhausted we become. The only person we can truly change is ourselves. We can change how we react, how we see things, how we choose, and how we move forward. When we change, the world in our eyes begins to change as well. Someone who once made us angry might today only evoke feelings of pity. Something that once caused us pain may later become a lesson we are grateful for. Remember that karma is not revenge. Karma is simply that what we sow contributes to the path we walk. If we sow anger, our hearts will become increasingly restless. If we sow selfishness, relationships will gradually drift apart. If we sow kindness, sincerity, and tolerance, life will be filled with more good things created by those very actions. Therefore, instead of expecting others to reap what they sow, focus on what seeds you are sowing each day. A person may not be wealthy, but they can still give a smile. A person with limited time can still spend a few minutes listening to someone who is sad. A person who cannot change the world can still make someone feel loved. Don't think that you have to do great things to be considered kind. A small good deed, if done with a sincere heart, still has its own value. The light of a lamp may be small, but in the darkness, it can still illuminate a space. And don't be too harsh on yourself. There are days when you are strong, but there will also be days when you are tired. There are times when you understand, but there are also times when emotions make you say things you don't want to. Everyone has flaws. Self-cultivation isn't about becoming someone who never makes mistakes, but about reflecting on each mistake, correcting it, and living more mindfully. Don't use one past mistake to conclude that you are a bad person. A sad page cannot represent the whole book. If you have ever hurt someone, sincerely apologize when you can. If you have ever done something wrong, try to correct it. If you cannot go back and change the past, use the days ahead to live better. That is also a way to atone for imperfections through your own personal growth. The past cannot be changed, but how we live from today onwards can absolutely be changed. When we understand impermanence, we learn to cherish every moment we have. When we understand karma, we become more cautious with our thoughts, words, and actions. When we understand compassion, we know that everyone is on a journey of learning how to live, and each person has suffering that others don't see. Therefore, let's treat life with a gentle heart, not to let others do whatever they want, but to avoid living in anger. Know how to protect yourself, but not harbor resentment. Know how to say no, but without resentment. Know how to leave, but without cursing. Know how to remember someone, but not necessarily to return. Know how to love, but also know how to love yourself with mindfulness. Finally, I hope that, no matter how many changes life brings you, you will still maintain a peaceful space in your heart. A place where there is no need for fame, no need to compete, no need to prove anything to anyone, only stillness, gratitude, and a heart that remains gentle enough to appreciate the good things in the world. If you can still see the sunlight today, be grateful. If you still have someone to love, cherish them. If you still have a chance to make amends, start now. If you can still do a good deed, don't hesitate. Live in such a way that every morning you wake up, your heart is not burdened by past events. Every night, before you go to sleep, Your mind is not tormented by the hurt you have caused others. Let each day pass, even if not perfect, so that at least you know you have tried to live more kindly than yesterday. Then one day, you will understand that the most precious thing is not how much life has given you, but that after all the gains and losses, you still maintain a kind heart. Still know how to love after being hurt. Still know how to forgive after disappointment. Still know how to hope after difficult days. And we can still smile, walk lightly, because deep down, we understand that everything in life comes and goes. Only the seeds of kindness we sow can continue to spread through those we have touched with love. The video ends here. Thanks everyone. Remember to subscribe to the channel to watch more great videos.